Well, Emmerdale family, I think we all need to take a collective deep breath. Just when we think the chaos in the Dales might simmer down, the storm surrounding Joe Tate and Caleb Miligan rages on, pulling more of our favorites into its destructive path. I'm still reeling from the latest scenes, and my heart is pounding just thinking about the sheer audacity, the coldness, and the ever-growing list of crimes that now follow Joe Tate like a shadow. And in the center of it all, a haunted and horrified Caleb Miligan, forever tied to the man who betrayed him in the most unimaginable way. Tonight, we're not just talking about a village feud. We're talking about a level of darkness that has left a permanent stain on the Tate Dingle legacy. And it has the police circling once again. The ultimate betrayal, a crime that broke our hearts. Let's be honest, we've seen some shocking things in our beloved soap over the years, but Joe Tate's return has brought with it a venom that is truly next level. For weeks, we watched him, this ghost from the past, weaving a web of lies. We knew he was hiding something, we could feel the desperation simmering beneath that cool exterior. But none of us, truly, were prepared for the devastating truth behind his return, his battle with chronic kidney disease. A health crisis is something that would normally rally a family, even one as fractured as the Tates and Dingles. But Joe didn't seek help. He didn't ask for a donor. He decided to take one. The memory of what he did to his own uncle, Caleb Miligan, still sends shivers down my spine. This wasn't just a crime of opportunity. It was a cold, calculated, and monstrous act. Joe didn't just stumble upon a solution. He created one. He orchestrated the brutal stabbing of Caleb, his own flesh and blood, creating a medical emergency so he could play the hero. He swept in, saving his uncle, only to rush him to a secret, corrupt doctor who then performed the most heinous of surgeries, stealing Caleb's kidney and transplanting it into Joe. Can we just sit with that for a moment? The emotional weight of that is staggering. Imagine the trust Caleb must have felt in that moment of terror, believing his nephew was his savior, when in reality he was the architect of his pain, the butcher who had him carved up for spare parts. It's a betrayal so profound it's hard to even put into words. We, as viewers, felt every ounce of that dawning horror when Caleb finally pieced it all together. The mysterious scar, Joe's sudden recovery, the hidden medication. The explosive confrontation that followed was everything we were waiting for, a raw, guttural cry of pain and rage from a man who had been violated in the deepest way imaginable. The ripple effect, how one man's darkness caused a tidal wave of tragedy. And if that wasn't enough, we now know the kidney theft wasn't even Joe's first attempt. His depravity runs deeper. We can never forget his initial target, his own half-brother, Noah Dingle, drugging the young man, ready to put him under the knife, only to discard him when he wasn't a match. That single selfish act set off a chain reaction of pure tragedy. A drugged and disoriented Noah stumbled into the road, causing the catastrophic Valentine's limo crash. Susie Merton, Amy Wyatt, Layla Harding, 3 lives extinguished in an instant, 3 families shattered forever. All because of Joe Tate. He may not have been behind the wheel, but his hands are covered in the blood of that tragedy. The guilt that Noah carried, the pain Charity endured, it all leads back to Joe's monstrous secret. When the truth was finally revealed at that fateful party at Home Farm, the collective gasp from the villagers was our own. Every crime, every lie, laid bare. It was no surprise when an unseen figure pushed him from that upstairs window. In that moment, almost anyone in that room was a suspect, and honestly, could we blame them? Caleb, Noah, Charity, even Billy, whose marriage to Dawn was torn apart by Joe's manipulative affair. It was a village pushed to its breaking point, crying out for a justice that the law had yet to deliver. The latest horror, a hit and run and a haunting witness, which brings us to today, and the shocking news that has the police knocking once again. Just when we thought Joe couldn't sink any lower, he gets behind the wheel, distracted and furious, and does the unthinkable. He runs over Jimmy King. The accident itself was shocking enough, a horrifying moment that left poor Jimmy's life hanging in the balance. But it's what happened next that truly defines the man Joe Tate has become. He considered fleeing. He was about to leave Jimmy for dead, another piece of collateral damage in his chaotic life. And who was there to witness this fresh act of cowardice and criminality? Caleb Miligan. The look on Caleb's face was a portrait of a man haunted. It's not enough that he has to live with the physical and emotional scars of Joe's ultimate betrayal. Now he is the unwilling witness to his nephew's next crime. It's as if fate is cruelly binding them together, forcing Caleb to constantly confront the monster who shares his bloodline. What is going through Caleb's mind? Is it rage? A grim satisfaction at seeing Joe dig his own grave? Or is it a chilling sense of responsibility? He stopped Joe from running, but what comes next? This latest incident gives Caleb even more power, another secret to hold over Joe's head. But for a man who has already been to hell and back, is this a burden he can even bear to carry? The police are involved and Nicola is, quite rightly, screaming for justice. This isn't a simple accident. It's a hit and run, another felony to add to Joe's growing rap sheet. The question on everyone's lips is, will this be the crime that finally brings him down? Or will Joe, slick and soulless as ever, find a way to wriggle out of this too? We are left here on the edge of our seats, our hearts aching for the good people of Emmerdale whose lives have been irrevocably damaged. The saga of Joe Tate and Caleb Miligan is far from over. It's a dark, emotional, and terrifying story of family, betrayal, and the desperate search for justice. We have to keep watching, if only to see the day that Joe Tate finally pays for everything he has done. What do you think will happen next? Will Caleb use this to finally get his revenge? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get through this together.